started with means time and space complexity. So today we'll try to finish up this part, okay, along with the asymptotic notations that we need to work with. Okay. So basically, time complexity. Already we have gone through these all things. There are two ways we have seen to calculate the time complexity. One way by which you can introduce the what we'll say count variable, okay, and second way we have to build a table, okay. So on the basis of that table we are going to calculate the complexity, okay. So these are the two ways to calculate the complexity. So any doubt in both of the ways? Okay, so this tabular format we have just gone through. Okay, any doubt in this step table format?
No, sir.
No, sir.
Okay. I think we also consider the step table for means your matrix addition. Yes or no? काढले ना आपण या स्टेप टेबलनी मॅट्रिक्स ऍडिशन सुद्धा.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now we'll move forward. Okay. So basically the time complexity is already we have seen it is the number of steps. Okay. So its time complexity depends on number of steps. Okay. So already we have seen with this algorithm. So there are 7 steps. Okay. So we are going to first calculate steps for execution. Okay. So these function name curly brackets will not come under the execution. Okay. These are just to support the program. Okay. The rest of the thing, we each and every step will have one as a step execution count. Okay, so that we have to give. Okay, so we are going to work with the steps. Okay, so this statement, okay, time complexity, okay, depends directly on what we'll say the number of steps we have. But again, we have seen that number of steps again it is dependent on, okay, so it depends on number of inputs. Okay, so suppose if you have to we have a program so where we have 5 elements in array. Okay, and we have to put the element at the first position, so we need to do 5 shifts. Okay, five right shifts. Okay, so the complexity of that program will be 5 only. Okay, so it's very less. Okay, so again we can say it's not that much considerable. Okay, but when that input is going to increase to 1000, okay, so we have to shift it 1000 times. Okay, 999 times we have to shift to put the element at the first position. Okay, so the number of steps along with number of steps we have to consider the number of inputs. Okay, so number of outputs that we have to generate. Okay, magnitude of input. So we have seen so suppose for what will say searching algorithm. Okay, so the magnitude will be the number of elements we have, or sorting we can say. The number of what we'll say elements for sorting also. Okay, so that all things, so it depends on the instance characteristics. Okay, so the number of steps again going to depend on the instance characteristics. Okay, so basically for many types of algorithm the time complexity is not directly dependent on the number of inputs or outputs. Okay, like searching. Okay, so that we have seen. So there are 3 things we have to consider. So one is best case complexity, second is the worst case complexity, and third is an average case complexity. Okay, so the agenda of today's lecture is to see, okay, how exactly we'll calculate the best case, means how exactly we calculate. Instead of that we can say what exactly mean by best case, what exactly mean by worst case, and what exactly mean by average case. Okay, so in very simple term, okay, so for linear search we can say that if the element is found at the first position, okay, so in that case, okay, so it is called as best case. Okay, so we are found in very lesser number of times. Okay, for linear search element found at the first position we can say that is the best case. Okay, in that linear search if the element is found at nth location, or if that element is not present in that list, okay, so then we can say it is the worst case, and average case it will be from 1 to n. Okay, so anywhere we can found that particular thing. Okay, so that we can say as a worst case complexity. Okay, so basically we can say a time complexity like this. Okay, so so for we can say, okay, so this example we have seen. Okay, so it is given that c1 of n square is less than equal to tp. So likewise we have to focus on this particular time complexity calculation. We'll see this formula, okay, while calculating average case complexity. Okay, but for just time being, okay, so there is one function, okay, so which is f of n, or we can say tp of n. Okay, where, okay, so that function is means greater than or equal to c1 n square, and it is less than c2 n square. Okay, so likewise we have to work on the function. Okay, so for we can say that for a small n, either it is faster, it depends on the values. Okay, so we can say with this example, Okay, so this is the one example we have to see. Okay, so what we'll do, so for this one example, we have to work like this. Okay, so it is given that C1n square plus C2n, and we have to find the relation in between C3n. Okay, so there are two functions we can say, that is C1n square plus C2n, okay, and C3n. Okay, so this is my first value will be for C1. Okay, second value is for C2. Okay, and third value is for n, we can say like this. Okay, so if you see this particular thing, okay, so like this. Okay, so for all n is less than or equal to 98. Okay, so this will work like this: C1n square plus C2n is less than or equal to C3n. Okay, so we'll just calculate this, so to understand it in more detailed way. Okay, so I will just write this program over here. Okay, so C1n square plus, we can say, C2n. Okay, so that we have to show less than or equal to C3n. Okay, so in that case, what we have, C1, C2, and C3. Okay, so we can say that. Okay, so C1 is equal to, we put it as 1. C2 we can put as 2. Okay, I'm sorry, C3 we can put as 100. Okay, so in that case, for we can say for the value of n, for some value n. Okay, some n, I can say some n. So now if we put one value, n is equal to 1, so what will be the output of this? Yes, if we put n is equal to 1, so what happens? So C1 is 1 into n is 1 plus C2 is 2 into n is 1 again. Okay, it is less than or equal to C3 is 100. Okay, into n is 1. So what will be the final thing? It will be 1 plus 2, that is 3
3 is less than or equal to 100.
Okay, so is it true for all n? True for all n? Is it true for all n values? So if I put 2 over here, n is equal to 2, so it will be 1 into 2, okay, plus 2 into 2 is less than or equal to 100 into 2. Okay, is it true again?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now if we increase the value, so suppose I will make 100. Okay, I will make it for n is equal to 100. Okay, so what will happen? 1 into 100, okay, plus 2 into 100 is less than or equal to 100 into 100. Okay, so what will be the output now? Okay, so it is 100 plus 3, it is 300. Okay, it will be 10,000. Yes?
Yes, yes, sir. True for all.
ना
For all.
Yes, is it
C1
correct?
सर
Hello?
C1 n स्क्वायर है ना
नहीं नहीं, C1 1 टाकलं ना आपण.
नहीं सर उसके बाद सी फॉर्मूले में C1 n
अरे
स्क्वायर
सॉरी, हाँ, it is n square, sorry.
तो 100 into 100 होगा सर नीचे
Okay, so that will be, yes, correct. This will be 100 into 100. Okay, in C2n. So still what will be the output? So it is greater again. Yes, 100 into 100 will be there. So it will be
नहीं
plus
सर अब फॉल्स हो जाएगा
सर नहीं, false जाएगा, false हो जाएगा.
Okay, so what will be the final output now? Oh yes, so this is 1 into 100 into 100. Okay, so and we'll have C3 we have taken 100 into 100. So how it is false now? शुक्ला का देता है ना, C2n. Anything is wrong here? C1n square, C2n, C3n. So C3 we kept as 100. Okay, n is 100. So how come it becomes false?
सर C3000 आहे सर.
नाही, ते नंतर घेतलाय. ठीक आहे, आपण ते कॅल्क्युलेट करतोय. सो विल सी
Yes,
फर्स्ट
sir.
दिस कंडिशन. यस,
98 सर वहाँ पे लिखा है ना कि 98 से कम रहेगा तभी ट्रू रहेगा
no, that we have to just verify. Okay, I just taken that thing. Okay, so now we have taken, so again I will just write C1 will be, C1 is equal to 1, C2 is equal to 2, and C3 is equal to 100. Okay, so that I have written. And what is our formula? C1 n square. Okay, so C1 is 1, n is in this case, what is n value? n value we can take as 100, or suppose okay, so 100 value we can take. Okay, so what will happen? C1 is 1 into n square, that is 100 into 100. Okay, plus 2 into 100. Okay, less than or equal to 100 into 100. Okay, so now suppose if we increase the value of C. Okay, so suppose if we made it 1000. Okay, so that will this becomes false. Okay, but we have to just check for this particular case. I think something is missing over here. 74 and is less than or equal to at 98. Okay, so we'll take some more values. Okay, I think I'm just making, we'll make C3 as some constant. Okay, so these are the constants, it's not an exponential. Okay, so if we take this value, so it is 1 into n square, it is equal to 100 into 100, plus it will be C2 is equal to 2 into 100. Okay, so that will be less. Okay, so we'll see. Okay, so the thing is that we'll see that example we have in next part. Okay, so this we have to verify. Okay, so what is the motto of this particular thing? We'll just see this example with this value. So for some formula, okay, so if we consider this formula, okay, so it is given as C1 n square plus C2 n less than or equal to C3 n. Okay, so it will work for some n, okay, which is less than 98. Okay, so for some values of n which is less than 98. Okay, so but once the n is greater than 98, okay, so in that case it will be now in reverse way. Okay, so it will be now in reverse way, like this we can say. Okay, again, if C1 is equal to 1, C2 is equal to 2, and C3 is equal to 1000. Okay, so in that case this n will be 998. Okay, so for it will work for all values less than 998. Okay, so it will be in same manner. Okay, so basically no matter how much value of C, okay, so for the large value of n, okay, so C3n will be faster. Okay, so always C3n will be work as a faster for large value of n. Okay, so we can take few more functions also. Okay, so we can we'll compare like this. Okay, so I will say 2n1 plus 3. Okay, so it is we can say it is what we'll say greater than or equal to n. Okay, so likewise if we take for some formula, okay, so that will be always it will be greater. Okay, in any case this formula will be greater. Okay, so whatever the values of our constant, okay, so this f of n, we can say this f of n, okay, f of n, this is function of n is always greater. Okay, so than your n value. Okay, so we have to find out some value where this is going to change. Okay, so this is called as a break even point. Okay, so at some value, okay, so this formula will not work as expected. Okay, so that is called as the break-even point. I will come to this point. Okay, we'll just see the clarification on this. Okay, so I will just correct it. So we'll discuss, but for some functions we can say that for some values it will work okay, but after some values, okay, it will reach to some point which we will call it the break-even point. Okay, so this we have. Okay, so basically, so what we have to found now, we have to found out some function f of n. Okay, so which is equal to some order of g of n. Okay, so that order may be what we'll say big O, it may be theta and omega, that we'll see later on. Okay, so what exactly it is. Okay, so it is written that f of n is less than or equal to c into c is a constant. Okay, so into g of n for all n is greater than equal to n. Okay, so I will come to this slide. So we'll first see how to calculate f of n first initially. Okay, so this is my formula. Okay, so this is my formula. Okay, so what we'll see. Okay, so for smaller number of n, okay, so it's okay. Okay, so that we can work on this formula. So we'll just solve this formula. We'll see why it is necessary to calculate this f of n. Okay, and how this bigger value will impact on your program. Okay, so what I have to write, f of n is equal to 5n square. Okay, plus it will be 6n plus it will be, okay, 12. Okay, so that is my formula. Okay, so what we'll do now, we'll just calculate the impact of each and every term on your algorithm. Okay, what is the impact of each and every term on this formula actually. Okay, so what will be now, so what I will do, I will just I have to calculate the impact of 5n square. So how we can calculate impact of 5n square? So it will be 5 divided by, okay, so it is 5 plus 6 plus 12. Okay, so that will give me the impact of this particular term, okay, on this formula. So how much contribution of this term we'll have? 6n if we calculate, so 6n equal to 6 divided by, again it will be 5 plus 6 plus 12, okay, and then 12 is equal to, okay, so it will be 12 divided by, so it will be 5 plus 6 plus 12, getting? So by this way we'll just calculate the contribution, or we can say how much it will impact on, how much each term will impact on your formula. So which is the major term in this, what we have to calculate in this formula, which is the major term in this formula. Okay, so if we calculate the impact, okay, so if we solve this, so this is already solved, so it is 21.74, okay, that will be impact. Okay, so if we so here value of n is equal to 1. If you have taken n is equal to 1, okay, so here n is replaced with 1. Okay, so this will be calculated like this. Okay, so next thing, it will have 26%, some approx 26%, and it will be have 52%. So which term is more important in this formula? With this fn square, sorry, 5n square, 6n plus 12, which impacts on your system more?
12.
Okay, so 12 is impacting more. So now what I will do, I will make it 100 or 10, we can say. Okay, so if we make 10, what will happen? So if we replace it with 10, so what will happen? So it will be 5 into 100 divided by your xyz. Okay, so this formula will have, okay, so what will happen? So if 1 is there, so no issue, so it will work like this, it will be 21% and it will be 52%. But once the n is going to increase, okay, once the n is going to increase, so what will happen? So if it is made as 10, so this 5 into n square, okay, so this will be now the bigger term. Okay, so it will now work with 87%. Okay, so if we see, okay, it is 5 into this 100 divided by your rest of the part. Okay, so you have to calculate that, so it will work like this. Okay, so it will contribute more. Okay, and this will be, now these are these two are constant. Okay, so this is constant actually, this will won't impact on your system for bigger values. Okay, so if we go on increasing the value, so this 12 is of no use, getting?
Yes,
Hello?
sir.
Okay,
Yes,
so
sir.
12 is of no use, means it will impact very less on your execution of the program. Okay, so as compared to 5n square, okay, this term 6n is also not that much considerable. Okay, so if you go on increase, means if the input values are increasing, okay, so this 6n will not what will say impact on your system. Okay, so whatever the complexity of your program, so that complexity we can say that this program has an complexity with 5n square. Okay, we know that we have calculated. So now how this formula comes from? This comes from this table. Okay, so here we have calculated 2n plus 3. Okay, so for value n is equal to 1, so what will happen? So if we consider the contribution, so the contribution of 3 is more in this case. Yes, for n is equal to 1, so contribution of this constant will be more. Okay, so the formula will be 2n, so this is we can say 5. Okay, so the total will be 5. Okay, so for value 10, okay, so what will happen? So it will be 20 plus 3, so it is 23. Okay, so again if we'll have 1000, okay, so it will be 2003. Okay, so it is 2003. So is there any what will say importance of that plus 3 in bigger values? Hello?
No.
Okay, so we can say that the complexity, because we are we have to what will say represent that complexity in some number. Okay, so we can say that the complexity of this program is 2n. Okay, so we are just eliminating this constant from this complexity. Okay, so it is there only, but again that will not impact that much. Okay, so the impact of that particular thing will not be that much on the basis of this complexity. Okay, so for that purpose we are not what we'll say interested in the smaller terms. Getting how to calculate this f of n for any algorithm?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this is what we have. So for that purpose we can say that the whatever the algorithm we have from which we have calculated the steps. Okay, so this f of 5n square. Okay, so in that case, okay, so this is having the more impact on your program for the more values of n. Okay, so can you tell me what is the formula which we have generated for that matrix multiplication? काय formula generated झालता matrix multiplication चा आपला? Anybody? What formula we have generated for this matrix multiplication? Yes,
M into N.
addition,
M
sorry,
into N.
addition.
M into N.
mn plus m into n अजून काहीतरी होतं ना +2 लास्ट टर्म इज +2 और +1 काहीतरी होती त्याच्या आधी पण
प्लस 3000
हाँ यस
प्लस 3 था सर.
ठीक है पहले क्या था इसके कैलकुलेट करायला
इससे
लागेल का
पहले कुछ भी नहीं था. इससे पहले कुछ भी नहीं था सर.
उसने तीन टर्म होता है
सर हमने पहले ये काउंट किया था सर कि जो पहले वाला लूप है वो m-1 टाइम्स वर्क करेगा, मतलब m टाइम्स वर्क करेगा. नीचे वाला n into m-1 टाइम्स वर्क करेगा. वैसे हमने सर कैलकुलेट किया था.
okay we'll
So,
just
ये answer
calculate over here so this will work for m+1 times yes this will work for
Yes,
m+1 time or we can say m time okay so this will work for I will say just n times okay and this will work for what we'll say m into
n times.
okay it will be m to n minus 1 times
Yes.
okay so that we have calculated so the total complexity we have taken it will be m plus we have written mn what we'll say okay so it is mn minus m plus 2 असं होतं का
प्लस n सर
And this
प्लस
is
n भी है सर प्लस n था और फिर 1 और 2 3 हो जाएगा सर. तो mn प्लस n प्लस 3.
mn plus m plus 3 ठीक है
यस सर.
ठीक है that okay so what we have to do so in that case we have to remove this constant number okay so and again in case okay so if this value of what we'll say we have to focus on this particular thing so there will be some complexity we can say in this case okay I need to see that formula but we can say that f of n okay so for this particular thing will be something g I can say g okay so g of what we'll say mn okay so the max contribution will be mn getting in this case the max contribution will be on mn okay so we can say that okay so with the increase of value of mn so this is more important term in our calculation of the complexity clear hello
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
okay so likewise you have to just have to focus that so this is one thing that we have to see okay so so for this fn we have seen it is 5n square okay so here we are getting the approximate time complexity we are not saying that it is a actual time complexity because we are just keeping that constant okay so we are interested in approximate time complexity whose result is very close to the actual result okay so this is called as an asymptotic complexity. Okay, so this approximate complexity which we are going to calculate, so that is called as an asymptotic complexity. So in basic mathematical analysis, asymptotic analysis of an algorithm, so that we have to now focus on. So asymptotic analysis of algorithm, it is a method of defining the mathematical bounding of its runtime performance. Okay, so it's how that particular program is running efficiently. Okay, so that is given with this asymptotic analysis, basically asymptotic notations we are going to use. Okay. So basically using this asymptotic analysis that we have performed now, okay, so like this, we have to calculate the asymptotic analysis. We can easily conclude average case, best case and worst case scenarios of an algorithm. Okay, so in worst case scenario, we can say that it defines the input for which an algorithm takes huge time. Okay, so for linear search, it will take n times. Okay, so the element is found at last position or if the element is not present. Okay, so in that, what we'll say so we'll call it as an worst case okay average case element is present at first position so best case element is present at first position okay define the input for which the algorithm takes at the lowest time and average case we can say that it takes the average time so it will range from 1 to n okay so anyway it will be 1 or it will be n or in between okay so that we'll call it as an average case so these are the three things we have to work on clear hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Okay.
sir.
So on the basis of this, we have this notations that is big O notation. Okay. So how to read it? It is a big O notation that we have to go through. Okay. So what that big O notation will give? It measures the worst case complexity. Okay. So how means it measures the performance of an algorithm by simply providing the order of the growth of the function. Okay. what it provides, big O, it provides the upper bound of the function. It is going to provide the upper bound of the function, which ensure that the function never grows faster than that. Okay, so it's a maximum, we can say that. Okay, so when we are saying O of n, okay, so O of n means what? It is the order of n. Okay, so your linear search will not go more than n. Okay, so it will not happen like that. Linear search, for some linear search it work for 2n times, some linear search it is work for 2n plus 5 times. Okay, so it is always n. Okay, so max will be n. Okay, so binary search, sorry, bubble sort, we can say that. So we are representing bubble sort with O of n square. Okay, so what it means that, okay, so your bubble sort will get the input. Okay, so suppose for I had consider n as 10. Okay, if we consider n as 10, okay, so I can have an completely sorted what we'll say array with what we can say 50 steps. Okay, 50 iterations I can have completely sorted array. I can say that I can have for suppose 5 steps. Okay, so 5 will be, so will be there, that completely sorted we can take, but it will not have more than 100. Okay, more than 100 step will not need for this algorithm. Okay, so to achieve the completely sorted algorithm. Okay, so in you never see an algorithm will performing 105 steps. Okay, so the max step will be only 100. Okay, so it will not go above it. So this is called as a big O notation. So it will give us the upper bound of your execution of your algorithm. Okay, so how to represent it is called capital O you have to make. Okay, don't write small o. So as it is capital O, so or you can say like this. Okay, it should be big O. Okay, so for that purpose it is called as a big O notation. So okay, so getting for what purpose we are using this big O notation? Hello, is it clear?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so for any type of what we'll say the values we can input, so the input may be n will be 1, so still it will perform on the same upper bound, and n will be 1000, then it will be upper bound. Okay, so on that above bound it will not go. Okay, so that will remain as it is. Okay, so we can take this one example. So 2n plus 3. Okay, so we can say this 2n plus 3. Okay, so that we can say that it is always less than or equal to c into n. Okay, so c is some constant into n. Okay, so what is this 2n plus 3? So that is f of n. Okay, so 2n plus 3, that is f of n. Okay, so what will happen? So if I put n as 1, so it will be 5 is less than or equal to 5. Okay, so that you can say, so 5 is less than or equal to 5 for some constant value we have. Okay, so sorry, this will be for c is equal to 5, we can say. C we can say something 5 value. Okay, so n will be 1. Okay, so this will be 5 is less than or equal to 5. Okay, so again if we make n as we'll say 2, so what will happen? It is okay, so it is 2 plus 2 into 4 plus 3, we can say. Okay, n we have put as 2, so 4 per 3. Okay, it is less than or equal to 5 into this will be 10. Okay, so for any value of n, okay, so this will now okay, so we can say that, okay, so 2n plus 3 is less than or equal to c of n for any value of n. So considering the c as a constant. Okay, so c as a constant, we can say which value is 5. Okay, so in that case, so this will be okay, so for any value of n, f of n is always greater. Getting big O notation? Any doubt in this?
No, sir.
Okay, so how to represent it? Okay, so if we see, this is the function f of n. Okay, so we can say g of n is always greater. Okay, so it is started over here. Okay, so this g of n, okay, so this is my f of n we have. Okay, and this g of n, which is the right hand side, this 10. Okay, so we can say this 10 is always greater. Okay, so it is represented like this. Okay, so this dotted line is representing your big O. Okay, so this is always above to your normal function. Okay, so we have to find out this relation, which is called as big O. Okay, so for for algorithmic conceptual point of view, okay, what we have to consider? We have to consider a big O of n, it's upper bound. Okay, so for any of the algorithm which is written, okay, so it will not go above. Okay, so if we compare two algorithms, so on which parameter we will compare? We will compare on big O notation. We are not going to compare with other notation, because big O is the maximum execution time we require. Okay, So we are going to compare on the basis of big O notation. Okay, so we can always say that, okay, n in O of n, big O of n. Okay, so it's better. Okay, so it's better than your other algorithm. So that is big O of 2n. Okay, or big O of n square. Okay, so that is not recommended. Okay, if any program is running on O of 2n and one program is running O of n, so which we are going to prefer? So we are going to prefer this O of n algorithm. Getting? Hello? Is it clear?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes. So this is big O notation. So the next notation is an omega notation. So it is going to give us best case scenario. Okay, probably in first year I maybe by mistake I have called this as a best case. Okay, so but the best case is this omega notation. So how to read? It is a omega notation. Okay, so it basically describes the best case scenario which is opposite to the big O notation. Okay, so it is a formal way to represent the lower bound. Okay, so here what we have to represent, we are going to represent the lower bound of that particular function algorithm running time. Okay, it determines what is the fastest time that algorithm can achieve. Okay, so that we can say. So in that case, here what we have written, so we have written like this: f of n is less than or equal to cg of n for all n is greater than or equal to n0. Okay, so here we are going to write written way: f of n is greater than cg of n for all n greater than or equal to number, and c is also greater than 0. Okay, so the same formula will take 2n plus 3. Okay, only the thing is that the gn which we are going to take, so that is previously we have taken this gn. Okay, so like this some constant we have taken over here. Okay, so what we are going to do, we are going to put c as 1 here. Okay, so if we put c as 1 over here, okay, so what will happen? So for any value of n, so this will be always greater. Getting? For any value of n, it will be always greater. Clear? Hello? What is this omega notation? So it is going to give us the lower bound always. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so
Yes.
suppose, okay, so this will be the lower bound we can have. So for linear search already we have seen. So we can find the element best case at the first position. Okay, so that will be the thing we have. Okay, so now how it is represented? Okay, so this is f of n. Okay, so in this case, but the g of n is below to that. Okay, so like that, this is reverse one. So g of n is above to that, f of n is below to that. Okay, so in this graph, we can point like this: c of cg of n will be always below for any value of this n. Okay, so it will be now giving us the best case complexity. Okay, so for omega notation we can say that, so this will represent as the best case, how the program is going to perform best way. Okay, so for the given input. Okay, so that is called the, it will give us the lower bound. Okay, and theta notation is a more realistic notation actually. Okay, so because the no algorithm will work always worst, no algorithm will work always what we'll say best. Okay, so it will range from what we'll say worst to best. Okay, or best to worst. Okay, so the theta notation mainly describes the average case. Okay, it is going to represent the realistic time complexity of an algorithm. Okay, because it varies, always it varies. Because for suppose linear search, okay, so it may happen that the element will be found at the first position. It in the then that particular execution we can say that we just achieved that complexity with O of 1. Okay, so we just found out the element at the first position. Okay, but in some case it will take O of n time. Okay, so we found the element at the last position, but always it will not happen. Okay, so it may range from 1 to n. The element can be between, in realistic time it's not possible the element will be a first position, element will be at the last position. The element may range from the first to last position. Okay, so in that case, so for that purpose we call that theta notation as the realistic time complexity that we have. So basically in real world problems, okay, algorithm mainly fluctuates between worst case and best case. Okay, so for example, if you have taken f of n like this, 2n, and g of n is n. Okay, so we can find out some relation like this. We can take two constants c1 and c2. Okay, so like that, so always c1 dot n g of n is less than or equal to f of n, and again it is less than or equal to c2 g of n. Okay, so we can take this example, the same example, f of n, we can take 2n plus 3. Okay, we can take c1 as 3, c2 as 4, and n is equal to 2. So what will happen, we'll just check. Okay, so what is our formula? So it is C into n, C1 into n, I can say, is less than or equal to, we can say 2n plus 3, 2n plus 3, again it is less than or equal to C2 of n, C2n. Okay, so what we are going to calculate, so we are putting C1 as 3, we are putting C4 as C2 as 4 and n as 2. Okay, so if you put, so it will be 3 into 2, so this will be 6. Okay, is less than or equal to 2 into 2, 4 plus 3, it will be 7. Okay, is less than or equal to, we can say 4 into 2, it will be 8. Okay, so for any value it is always work like this. Okay, so we can say that this is an average case complexity that we have. Okay, and if you see a diagrammatic way, so it is C2 will be always greater than C1 for some f of n. Getting? So like this, if you have a theoretical question, so you have to draw this diagram and you have to explain, okay, what exactly these notations are. Okay, so clear all three notations. So what is the big O notation? So it will give us upper bound. Okay, omega notation, it will give us the lower bound or best case complexity, we can say. And theta notation, it will always give us the average case. It will be in between case. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So basically, again, why we have three different notations actually for analysis. Okay, so the same example you are taken. So for linear search, okay, if the match found at first position, we can say this is okay. Okay, for worst case, this is like this, and for average case, it will range from n to 1 or 1 to n, we can say, but we are just eliminating the constant. Okay, so it is a theta of n. Okay, so three different analysis provide the proper bounding between the actual functions. Okay, so we can say that, okay, which the program is executing very good. Okay, if its worst case complexity big O of n, big O of, we can say x. Okay, so is less than the other algorithm. Okay, so we are interested in this particular thing. Okay, but still we are working on these three asymptotic analysis. Okay, so this is we have an introduction. In next semester, probably I won't exactly know next semester curriculum, but next semester or maybe in third year first semester, you come across one more interesting subject. Okay, somewhat difficult, you can say, that is a DA. Okay, so that is design analysis of algorithm. Okay, so where you have to calculate this complexity for many algorithms. Okay, so and again more detail we have to look for this what we'll say subject. Okay, so design analysis of algorithm, so we have to analyze the things, okay, so which are going to perform better. Okay, so that we have. Okay, so with this topic we will just cover up this asymptotic notation we already seen. Okay, so these are some terms you may remember. Okay, so what it is called, O of 1, if it is a complexity is O of 1. Okay, so it is called as a constant time complexity. Okay, so suppose we have to add two numbers. Okay, so it will be just a plus b. Okay, always for any number of a and b, this will won't change. Okay, so this is O of 1. Getting? Is it correct? Hello, is it correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so this you can call it the constant time. Linear time, so linear search. Okay, it's always linear time. Okay, so it is going to increase in a linear way of n. Okay, it will not like this. So if n is 10, so your complexity will be 10. Okay, n is 100, your complexity will be 100, and so on. So this is a linear time. Okay, n square will be a quadratic time. You may have an MCQ question. Okay, so what n square is called? So there are a few options. Okay, linear time, quadratic time, cubic time. So you must write it is a quadratic time. Okay, then 2n, 2 to the power n, it is written 2 to the power, it's not 2n, it is 2 to the power n. We can say that it is an exponential time. You know that it is an exponent. Okay, so for that purpose we can call it as an exponential time. And n to the power 3, it is called as the cubic time. It's a cube actually. Okay, so it's called as a cubic time. Okay, so these are some time complexities that we have. Clear? So this part is okay. Any doubt in this? Why we have gone through this assignment? How we can calculate these all time complexities for any of the algorithm which is given to you? What is best case, worst case, average case? Okay, what is break even point? Okay, this point I will just check, and again I will elaborate you. Okay, again these asymptotic notations. Okay, is it clear now? Any doubt? Hello?
No doubt, sir.
Okay, so this is the thing. So as I told you in last last theory lecture. Okay, so we'll see some practical implementation of this. Okay, so where exactly it is more important. So I will just open one diagram. Okay, I'm not going to tell you. I already discussed previously also. So I will make a resonate. I will open its diagram. Okay, so probably I have explained this. Yes. बघितलं होता का आपण ही डायग्राम लास्ट सेमिस्टर मध्ये कधी? येस और नो?
No, sir.
Okay. So now I will just tell you where exactly this all term comes under. Okay, so if we open this again, the paper, I will say resonate. This is one research paper of this deep resolution network. Okay, we can say. So you may find out this paper, रिसर्च पेपर आहे हा फक्त. ओके, तर हे मी तुम्हाला थोडक्यात सांगतो. हे थोडं खूप ऍडव्हान्स आहे. इट्स डीप लर्निंग ऍडव्हान्स अल्गोरिदम. ओके, बट व्हॉट आय हॅव टू एक्सप्लेन हाऊ व्हॉट दॅट टाइम कॉम्प्लेक्सिटी विल इम्पॅक्ट ऑन युअर रियल टाइम प्रोग्रामिंग. Okay, and why it is important, very very important. Okay, so what happens in this diagram, if we see, okay, so what's exactly a deep learning, I will just tell in a minute. Time आहे का आपल्याकडे? ठीक आहे टाइम आहे. ठीक आहे. So what exactly we have deep learning and machine learning, I can say that. Okay, so just we'll just take this is my input, okay, of a program. This process I will do how the program is working. Okay, this is a processing unit. Okay, and finally one output will get from this unit. Okay, so this is a normal execution. So for any program you'll provide some input. Okay, so some input is provided to this program. Okay, some input we are going to provide this program, and this program will generate some output. So for that purpose we are writing each and every program. Yes, is it clear? असंच करतो ना आपण?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so now in this case what we have in our normal programming, our input we know, our output we know, and on the basis of that particular input output we are going to set a program. Okay, so that program will have some predefined task. Okay, so that to be performed. Okay, so that is a normal execution of program. Okay, so now what happened in machine learning? Okay, so this we know. Suppose if I have to make an addition, so I will just write a plus b. Okay, so that I know the predefined steps which I have to calculate. Okay, so if I have to make a matrix multiplication, so I will give some predefined steps. Okay, so it will work on the input and it will work on the output. Okay, but in machine learning what will happen? Okay, so machine learning will give some intelligence to this program. Okay, so in what we'll say in bird eye view, I will tell you that I will say that. Okay, so not exactly we can say, but machine learning we are going to provide some intelligence to this program. Okay, so what that program will do? Okay, so it will check the input parameter and it will learn from its what we'll say, it will learn from the previous data which it has. Okay, so always it is going to learn. Okay, and it will produce some output. Okay, on the basis of this input we have. Okay, so probably if you know the concept of machine learning. Okay, so likewise I will tell one example. Okay, so suppose I will have records of 10 students from your division. Okay, so I will take height of the students, I will take weight of the student, and I will take suppose age of the students. Okay, so that 10 what we'll say we have. Okay, so what we'll say height, weight, and age. Okay, so these three parameters we have. Okay, so suppose someone's height is 5 inch. Okay, weight is suppose 52 kgs. Okay, and age is suppose around 21. Okay, I can say that. So likewise I have 10 records with me. Okay, and when 11 students come to me. Okay, and he forgot to fill his weight. Okay, so I have to calculate his weight. So I know that his height is suppose 5.2. Okay, and his age is suppose 21.3. Okay, so 3 months like this. Okay, so what is his weight? Okay, so machine learning will just go through this about 10 values. Okay, 10 values, it will calculate some formula, it will just analyze something. Okay, so it will intelligently learn with, suppose there are some linear regression like this, it will perform some linear regression task. Okay, and so it will predict. Okay, it will predict that the this weight may be, probably it will be 54 kgs or 55 kgs getting. So likewise your machine is going to operate on the machine learning task. आलं रफली लक्षात? Hello.
हो सर.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Yes,
So
sir.
now what the deep learning will do now, okay, so this is one thing, okay, so in machine learning, there is only one decision making, okay, so there is only one way by which we can make something like the intelligent decisions, okay. So machine learning, what will do, it will have some more number of these steps in between, okay, so these program steps, intelligent steps, it will be having more number of intelligent steps, okay, so like I will say that these are the number of repetitions of the same program we can say it will have. So what will happen, the input of the first block, it will given to the output as a second block. Input of the, again, this will give like this will give like this, okay. So suppose I will, now this is a prediction. Is this the actual result? Is this the actual result that we are getting?
No, sir.
It's a prediction, just it's a prediction. Likewise, suppose you're doing some task, machine is going to predict something, okay. So now that prediction is having some percentages, okay. So suppose I have a data set having 1,000 cats and 1,000 dogs, okay, and I have inputted some photograph, okay. So it will predict, okay, so it will say that this will be 90%, the machine can say that this will look 90% like a dog, okay. So it will look some 90% like a dog, we can say, okay. So it's not an exactly 100% as a dog, okay. म्हणजे जसा दुसरा जरासा फोटो असेल, so it will, so this is the probability, okay. So what will happen, so now in deep learning we'll have an input, okay. So we can say that first layer, it will perform it will have an accuracy 65%, okay. So same algorithm we have repeated, so in next we'll achieve 72% accuracy, in next we'll achieve 74, because we are repeating the same steps again and again, okay. We are repeating the same steps again and again, so the theoretical way, it should improve the accuracy. So next thing, it will we'll have an accuracy at 80%. Suppose I have added some more 10 layers or 20 layers to this with the same execution, so will this performance have to increase to 90 plus? Yes, theoretically, okay. Should it increase 90 plus?
Yes, sir.
हे आलं ना लक्षात तुम्हाला मी काय म्हणतो, म्हणजे तेच आपण रिपीट करतो. म्हणजे सपोज यू आर ॲट सेकंड इयर, यू आर रिपीटिंग सम क्लास, इफ यू हॅव टू क्रिएट अ क्लास, सो व्हॉट विल डू, इनिशियली ओपी कन्सेप्ट विल क्रिएट अ क्लास, जर असं सुरुवातीला चुकेल, नेक्स्ट टाइम अगेन द सेम प्रोग्रामिंग मेथडॉलॉजी विल इम्प्रूव्ह ग्रॅज्युअली, ओके. So our probability to find out dog will increase above 90% with inclusion of these more steps in between. Getting? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay, but what will happen, suppose I will plot this, okay. So this is my what will say time, we can say, and we can say this is steps, okay. So as the steps are going to increase, the time is also going to increase. So this is a linear way, okay, because we need some more time, because the same program will repeat. Suppose this program will have 100 steps, so repetition 100 times, it will require 10,000 steps, okay. So that is a linear time, okay. So linear way it is increasing, okay. But on the basis of this, some other graphs should be like this, okay. If a number of steps are increasing, okay, so we can say number of steps are increasing, so your accuracy also should increase. Yes. So suppose this is my accuracy, this y-axis will tell my accuracy of the algorithm. So accuracy should increase with the increase of number of steps, okay. With this we are increasing some steps, so accuracy should increase, yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Okay, but what happened in actual execution, this is theoretically it's perfect, okay. Practically again very few answers, okay, why it is happening, okay. But what happens, so it will increase for some number of steps, but after it will get degrade, okay. It is degrading like this, okay. So this paper is very interesting, you can go if you have interest in this task, okay. So this paper will, if you see, so it is like this, okay. So it is given like this, okay. So the accuracy theoretically it should be like this. So for 20 layers, the accuracy of this so error which we get, so that should be lower for this 56 layers, okay. But it is not working in practical. So practical will have something different, okay. Error rate is going to increase, okay. Error rate and the accuracy is going to decrease, okay. So in practically, so it will at some point of time it is going to degrade, okay. So the researchers, what they have done, okay, so initially they have created one deep learning with 110 layers, okay. So they next created deep learning network with 100 layers, then they'll go on increasing to 10,000 layers, okay. So the theoretical we must say that the accuracy should once the layer are increasing, the accuracy should be increasing. But now the researcher found that okay, it's not working like that, the accuracy is going to decrease, okay. So by no means, okay. So for that purpose, so what our task, so what this researcher have done, एकदम सोपं केलं त्यांनी, काहीच नाही केलं. तर हे का लेस होतं, कसं लेस होतं, ते कारण आहेत बरीचशी. सो त्याला ग्रेडियंट डिसेंट वगैरे म्हणतात. बट यू नॉट हॅव टू दिस. आय एम रिलेटिंग दिस टू युअर asymptotic notations and this complexity point of view. Okay, so what happens? So this is a normal neural network. Okay, हे दिसतंय ना तुम्हाला, ही पहिली लेअर आहे, दुसरी लेअर आहे, तिसरी लेअर आहे, आणि ह्याचं आउटपुट प्रत्येकाचं आउटपुट नेक्स्ट लेअरला देतो आणि आपण हे फायनल आउटपुटला जातोय. गेटिंग? इज इट क्लिअर टू यू? Okay.
Yes, sir.
So what our normal thing is that, so it should increase the performance. Okay, once it is going like this, it should increase the performance. Okay, but what happens after some layers, it is going to decrease the performance. The accuracy is going to decrease. Okay, so what this person, we can see the name of that person also. This person,
Sir.
this yes.
HSMC चं लेक्चर सुरू झालंय सर.
अरे सॉरी
12:20लाच आहे.
ठीक आहे मला सांगायचं ना, मी टाइम मगाशी बघितला. ठीक आहे, सो यू कॅन जॉईन देअर. विल डिस्कस दॅट इन लेटर लेक्चर. ठीक
Okay,
आहे,
sir.
चलो
Okay,
बाय.
sir.
ओके, चलो, थँक्यू, हॅव अ नाईस डे.
Sir, attendance.
ऑल आर प्रेझेंट.